You are who you surround yourself with, so make sure they're good. Make sure your friends are good people. So, I was watching my friend's phone while he was showing me videos. He was showing me Instagram Reels, to be honest. I want to watch Reels all day, sort of thing. And I just had a moment, and I was like, I don't really find this funny. That inherently is not the problem. And I'm all for a bit of rage bait on the internet. I'm all for a bit of not an offensive joke, but something that shock factor, let's say. And then all of a sudden I realised, maybe this isn't somebody I want to be around. And that's a very common thought. I'm not the first to come up with that. But as we were watching these videos, he started making comments and jokes that on the surface you'd think, oh, why are you saying that? But ultimately, that defines their character. This isn't a very, very close friend. It's just somebody, a friend of a friend acquainted. But it comes to a point when you realise, if I actively am friends with this person, or I keep seeing them, you become the people you surround yourself with. Everybody has an inherent need to please others. And, oh, no, I don't, Paolo, I don't. You do. You may suppress it and not do it, but everybody has that deep down feeling, especially around people you don't know well. So say somebody makes a joke and you're like, it's a bit pushing the boat out a bit there, I'm not okay with that. And you keep being with these people, eventually you're going to start making those jokes to fit in. Or the way people think. Say somebody, oh, it's too late, I've got out of bed, I'm just not even going to go to work. I'm going to show up late to college, I'm going to show up late to uni or whatever. You start doing those things because that's what's perceived as the norm. So, the people you surround yourself with, you become like them. And this isn't just me saying, oh, you need to cut off. Well, you don't need to do anything. But you need to make a conscious decision when it gets to a point whether this is somebody I want to be around. And as I've said before, if you close that door, a new one opens. Because it's like that saying where you build a garden to attract the butterflies. You don't chase them. If you go around looking for really, really good, wholesome friends that care for you, but you're stuck in this group of people that aren't, they're going to want nothing to do with you. Whereas if you drop those friends that are really detrimental to you, you're opening this door for people to, one, distance yourself from that negative behaviour, to work on yourself, to become part of that community. And this isn't just friends, it can also be family. That's a harder topic to discuss, and obviously everybody's situation's different. You can never say what to do. But if we keep it on the friends topic, and this isn't just a negative thing, oh, go look for the negative things about your friends. No. No one's perfect. There's going to be flaws with no matter who you look at. You can't look for flaws. But you can look for the core big values and stuff, that whether or not it is okay with these friends to make jokes about, like, people in a disadvantaged situation, or racism, or ableism, sexism, anything like that. And if it's okay with them, you're going to be surrounded by that, and you're going to adapt to that. Whereas if you're around people that they constantly look for the positive in things, or they stand up and not bystand, you're going to become just like them, and you won't even realise it. So you've got to make a conscious decision whether, are these my people? And whether 10 years down the line, you want to still be like this. And obviously, the past is the past, the future is the future. You can't control who you're going to become. You can only control who you are now. But who you are now is exactly who you are. Say you wake up late, you've woken up late that day. However, it's up to you how you deal with that. If you get down in the dumps, and I'm not saying depression's not a thing. I'm just saying if you get down in the dumps and start to think, oh, oh, the day's over, I've got up late, then you're one of those people. Whereas if you got up late and go, that's a one-off, I'm not going to do that tomorrow, I'm going to try my best to wake up and I'm still going to smash everything out, you're one of those productive people. And the same goes for who you surround yourself with. If you envy these people where they're always kind or empathetic of those around them, you've got to be around those people. And if you want people that are really, or you want to become this person that's really ambitious on who they want, what they want to do, and they want to do all these things and fit all these things in the day, you'll start doing the same. Whereas if you start hanging around with people that are all like, I'm going to smoke this new cart, you want to come smoke this new cart with me and go sit outside of a supermarket or something, you'll become just like them and you'll start doing that and you'll get stuck into this well and just keep on going. And it's a hard thing to stand up. And especially if it's an abusive relationship, it's hard to leave. If you've got the opportunity to just say, this isn't okay with me, and say, I'm just going to distance myself. You don't need to say, oh, I'm going to distance myself. However, if you're in a relationship, a long-term relationship, and you think, this isn't for me, you've got to talk about that. It's only right for the other person. Another point. But ultimately, you've got to look after yourself as much as you look after those around you. And no one is going to be perfect all the time. Everyone's going to do something you think, that's not on. However, if you go to that person and go, that's not really on, and they go, why? You explain it to them, or maybe you don't even explain it to them, and they go, oh, yeah, I agree. They are still your people. And maybe you're in this friendship group where everything's negative, and you speak to them about it, you go, I just don't like how we deal with this topics, this situation. And then some others go, yeah, you know what, I think we've gone too far now. And I think you're right. I think we need to sit down and understand this. They could still be your people. Don't just throw people off because of one mistake or jump to conclusions on that. Obviously, it's all relative. If it keeps happening again, you all use your common sense, is what I'm trying to say there. Because everybody is growing, you know? Not everybody can do right all the time. And not everybody can... Some people are just unaware of their actions. That's not an excuse to do things. But if you go to them and say, oh, that's upsetting, and they take that on board, that might still be your kind of person because they can grow with you. If somebody's stuck in their ways or doesn't want to change, take a step back and leave. They're not your people. Change is something, it's not a negative thing. It's just what happens. And if you don't want to change, you'll change negatively. You don't change and you put off, you go, no, I'm going to stay how I am, and you become that more extreme version of who you were. You're changing, but just not the right way. So ultimately, if it doesn't feel right, or if it doesn't sit with you well, they're not your people. And you just gotta do what's right. You become who you surround yourself with. And that's not me saying, oh, everybody you meet you become, which I kind of do agree with that. But you are everybody you've ever met. But you also are who exactly your closest people around you. That's your community. That's what you spend your time with. It's who you become. However, if you have some disagreements, always talk about them. If it's possible in the situation. But always try your hardest. Like if you've got this bigger disagreement with people, you can't just disappear and not say that, because maybe if you say that, it sparks that thing inside of them and they go, yeah, they're right. They may come with you on your journey. You can't just ignore them for the rest of their life. You can't just disappear out of nowhere, because quite frankly, that's bad communication. And I always want people to know how I feel. Wear my heart on my sleeve. Chest, sleeve, same thing. But then you've got to surround yourself with people that do that. That's not necessarily, or go find out people who are perfect. In your mind, nobody's perfect. But give it a go, and maybe your friends follow you too, you know? Like, I have this friendship group, and when we first met, nobody would speak about their feelings. And then one of my friends got really quite mentally ill, and then all of a sudden this bubble popped for all of us where everything's on the table to speak about. Even if you've done something wrong, it's still best to speak about that, and then we speak about everything and we all know everything about each other, and it becomes this safe environment. They're your people, because if they do something wrong that upsets somebody or upsets you, you've built this safe environment to tell them without it feel like you're having a go at them, or more doing a positive thing by saying, I don't think you should do that, you're upsetting someone. And they go, yeah, I didn't really know I was upsetting someone, but now that you pointed it out, I'm going to avoid that. They're your people. You are who you surround yourself with, so make sure they're good. Make sure your friends are good people. Thank you. Have a great night, great day, whatever. Wish you the best. Peace out.